Robin Williams set my standard for what type of father I want to be.
You loot, crude, loot, bag of pre-chewed food, dude.
When I tell you I related to Peter's journey in a very profound, spot-on way, I'm underselling it. It was transformative.
Oh, there you are, Peter.
And when he remembers his happy thought, and he takes off flying, my spirit soared in that movie theater.
Your children love you. They want to play with you.
I went in a grumpy, miserable, depressed, sad sack of a man, and I left with a recommitment to, I'm gonna love the hell out of my kids. Oh man, I'm gonna be a wreck this episode. Hello and welcome to, it's me.
I know, I was pointing.
Okay. Hello and welcome to Cinema Therapy. I'm Jonathan Decker, licensed therapist who loves movies. This is
Alan Seawright, a professional filmmaker?
Yes.
That's what I am. I need therapy.
Indeed he does, but we're not going to give it to him. Instead, we're going to talk about my emotional journey today. It's all about me.
Oh, yeah.
This is a very personal episode. This is a movie that hit me right at a time when I needed it, and not the first time. It was when I circled back to it decades later. We're going to be talking about Peter Banning / Peter Pan in Hook.
Hook, 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 hook.
We're going to be talking about finding joy in the life that you've created and in the choices you've made.
Ew.
And in finding your youthful enthusiasm again when life has absolutely beat it out of you.
Boy, I'm really gonna need this episode.
All right, you might be getting some therapy after all.
Hey!
Yay!
You're afraid you're gonna get sucked out.
I'm not afraid of being sucked out.
Yes, you are. You're afraid you're going to be sucked out.
Just stop.
Man, this kid is so great. And he did like 5 movies in the 90s and then just called it.
6 games, I promise.
I'm going to come to your baseball games next year.
Be sure to buy enough videotape.
Send his assistant to film it.
My word is my bond.
Yeah, junk bond.
What the hell's the matter with you? When are you gonna stop acting like a child?
I am a child.
Grow up.
Here's why this is a very personal film for me. Cast your mind to very early November 2020.
Okay.
We've been doing cinema therapy for 6 months.
Yeah.
And we have about 3,000 subs.
Yep.
We're pouring a lot of time, a lot of energy, a lot of money into this thing.
Yep.
I've got 2 businesses, my marriage is struggling, and I've got 5 kids. And I am feeling super stressed. Now, what I didn't know is in like 3 weeks, cinema therapy was going to take off.
Absolutely take off.
But at the time, it felt like we were banking on something that...
We weren't banking on it. We were pouring our lives down the drain.
Yeah.
Is what it felt like.
And I was stressed, and I was miserable. And in that state, I was worried about failing as a father, as a husband, as a business owner, and failing you, just failing like a lot of this intense pressure. And plus it's 2020, if you remember.
Low key F 2020, still sad, still ain't got no money.
With all of this stress, I kept seeing my kids as obstacles. They wanted to spend time with me. They wanted to connect with me. Like Peter, I'd make promises and then I'd not keep them, and then I feel guilt and shame about it. And then a local theater was showing Hook because they didn't have new movies, right?
Right, yeah.
And so during COVID, like they would social distance and mask, but they would show classic films. And I'm like, let's go see Hook. And when I tell you I related to Peter's journey in a very profound, spot-on way, I'm underselling it.
Listen.
Boom! Here, Meg! I'm tired!
Tell them they've always been casualties of evolution. Ask them if anybody misses the Tyrannosaurus Rex.
Oh, I do! Boy, do I ever! Wow!
This is the Tyrannosaurus Rex. What was Spielberg's next movie after this?
A 10-inch owl has a 50-mile mating radius. Why don't they just fornicate someplace else? A $5 billion deal falling apart because of this? Why didn't somebody just shoot me in the head?
Bang! Bang!
Will everybody just shut up?
I'm sorry.
And leave me alone for 1 moment more. Get him out of here, will you? I'm on the phone call of my life.
Come on, Jack, come on.
Come with me. Mommy.
I'll show you the window where your father and I used to stand and blow out the stars.
Oh man, I'm gonna be a wreck this episode. So I'm sitting in the theater like, we're gonna go watch Hook, yay!
This is fun. It's a romp from my childhood.
And I And I'm watching this scene and I'm thinking of times where I did something like that.
Yeah.
You know, never laid a hand on anybody, never, but just snapped. And their little faces, you know, the person that they're supposed to feel safe with and the person that they love is scary.
Yeah.
And like Peter, we find out later what choices he made exactly, but he chose life, and he chose his life. He chose family, and he's miserable. And he doesn't know he's Peter Pan at this point, but like he's lost everything about him that was joyful and light.
Yeah.
And it's at this point in the theater that I'm starting to sense that I'm going to be getting cinema therapy.
This episode is sponsored by BetterHelp. BetterHelp connects you with a licensed therapist who is trained to listen and give you helpful, unbiased advice. Maybe a good therapist could have helped Captain Hook overcome his fear of clocks.
Or help someone like Peter, except that person doesn't have a magical trip to Neverland to help reframe their problems and priorities.
I know starting therapy can be difficult, almost as difficult as following the second start of the right straight until morning. Wow. And it might be hard to find the right therapist in your area, especially Neverland. But BetterHelp has a network of over 30,000 therapists with a wide range of expertise.
And they're committed to helping you find a therapist who's a good fit for you. You can easily switch to a new therapist at no additional cost if the therapist they match with you first isn't a good fit.
To get started, click the link below or go to betterhelp.com/cinematherapy and fill out the questionnaire to begin assessing your needs.
Then you'll get matched with a therapist, in most cases in 48 hours or less.
That's even less time than it takes to reclaim your panhood. You can also choose how you want to do your therapy sessions.
A phone call, a video chat, pixie dust.
Not pixie dust.
Even messaging. And at a time that's convenient for you.
So if you think you might benefit from therapy, click the link below or go to betterhelp.com/cinematherapy.
You'll get 10% off your first month of BetterHelp so you can connect with a therapist and see if it helps you. BetterHelp. Less dangerous than fighting pirates and more effective for your mental health.
I'm going to talk about this a lot. The director of this movie, may have heard of him. Young man by the name of Steven Spielberg. He's made a couple of films. He's pretty good at it.
Yeah.
We've got Peter Banning in the foreground. We push in slowly on him and crane down to look up. You see the characters acting stuff out in the background in shadow. There's Peter Pan stuff happening, and it's a whole bunch of visual storytelling that, you know, your average filmmaker wouldn't think to do.
Yeah.
And he's just like, hey, I'm going to tell 3 stories at once.
Yeah.
With one shot, because I'm a f***ing genius.
Peter goes to rescue his kids. Doesn't go well.
Peter Pan has a real problem with height.
Dustin Hoffman is amazing in this.
So good.
Okay, hang on.
And
son.
Bob Hoskins.
Yeah.
Sweetheart, let me give me a hand.
I already have. Oh, what new game is this, Peter? Fly! Stop pretending!
And I watched this scene and I remember being a teenager and being in my 20s. And all I wanted was to be a husband and a father, and I was sure that I was going to knock it out of the park, and I was so excited.
All we have to do is touch our fingers and we'll be able to go home.
And then I became a dad, and the feeling that I felt was fear.
Yeah.
It was sheer panic at failing, and then it was creating a self-fulfilling prophecy.
Reach. Come on, Daddy. Mommy could do it.
It's me, I don't understand. Why doesn't he fly? Is it not Peter Pan?
He's Peter Pan, all right, Captain. He's just been away from Neverland so long, his mind's been junctified. He's forgotten everything.
Please don't give up.
Sometimes as a parent, also in life, you want to swoop in and be the hero for the people you care about, and you're just paralyzed by inadequacy.
Gentlemen, I'm afraid I have decided to cancel the war.
What are you smiling about, Dustin Hoffman?
Dustin Hoffman, man. So good. Sneaky great performance from Bob Hoskins.
I've just had an apostrophe.
Peter's crippled by anxiety and inadequacy and fear of falling, right? And in the movie, it's literal, but it's a pretty solid analogy.
Yeah.
And I'm watching this in the theater, including the line, "Come on, Daddy, Mommy could do it." I'm like,
that hits close to
home. and just starting to remember the father I wanted to be. Mm-hmm. He's given 3 days to get in Peter Pan shape, and he meets up with the Lost Boys.
He's an old fat grandpa man.
Who think he's a laughing stock, and there's no way he's Peter Pan until one little boy sees it. In a scene that is, John Williams goes so hard, and God bless him for it.
Yep.
This song is called "The Face of Pan." He's trying to find Peter in this wrinkled, miserable-looking person.
Oh, there you are, Peter.
Stand back, Zuko.
But Peter, you've grown up. You promised never to grow old. Peter?
His nose got real big.
Well, welcome back to Neverland, Panda Man.
I can't tell you how often I look in the mirror and I see wrinkles and I see frown lines and I see sad bags under my eyes and I feel like I've lost me. Because life is hard. And I feel like it's kind of been, beaten out of me. So when that kid makes him smile, he goes, "Oh, there you are, Peter." Like, I just start bawling because I know I'm still in there, And something I love about this scene is when Peter just asks for help. And that's when Rufio kind of softens just a little bit to be like, all right.
Just enough to let the other boys help him.
Yeah, just enough to let the other boys help him. And if you feel like life's beating it out of you, you gotta ask for help. Horsey's Bug's birthday.
Gum!
All you need is one happy thought, Peter. Just one happy thought and it'll make you fly.
I got it! Not being in a slingshot.
His nipples
would make me very happy.
I guess they're not. They're next to his nipples, but still.
Growing up!
He's coming down!
It's so gross and so childish and so perfect. Internet Dad's Popcorn. It's Peter Pan colored, but it doesn't taste like Peter Pan. This is actually mint chocolate, and it's really good.
Yeah.
And it's got our faces on it.
It's Yoda mint chocolate, which is a Star Wars poll, but it looks Peter Pan-y as well.
It looks also like it can double for both.
But this, the find a happy thought, when you're a kid and you're reading Peter Pan, it's a whimsical thing, right?
Yeah.
Fairy dust, you think a happy thought, you can fly. Here it becomes the entire crux of the narrative of how's Peter going to rescue his kids, and in the meantime rescue himself from what he's become.
Well, and what is a happy enough thought to fly as an adult?
Yeah.
What thoughts do you have as an adult that aren't like somehow broken by something? Like, when I was a little kid, I loved cars. Cars were awesome. I loved working on cars like as much as I could whenever I could with my dad or whatever. Like I just loved the idea of all this stuff. And now I'm like, cars are kind of the worst. They're destroying our planet, but I still like them. But I couldn't, like, as a kid, I could have thought about cars and flown.
Yeah.
Right? Now I think about cars and I'm like, climate change, oh, damn it.
Yeah, I don't know why I'm laughing. We're all gonna die. I do relate to what you're feeling, though. It's a lot like Inside Out, how everything is blue and yellow now. Like, everything is bittersweet, and it's beautiful, and there's happiness in it. But it's like an adult realization of what's going on in the world.
Yeah.
There are very few things where it's just pure happiness.
Jurassic Park?
Yeah.
So many sad memories, Peter.
No wonder you can't find a happy thought. My Teddy.
Not Daddy.
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 Peter.
to your daddy.
Hey, Jack. I know why I came back. I know why I grew up. I wanted to be a father.
I'm a daddy. My happy thought. I got it.
I got it. I found it. I lost it.
Just hold that happy thought, Peter.
I tell you, you see this in a theater with the score, and it is fist pumping.
Hot damn, John Williams. Get it.
And then if you need an actor to convey the sheer joy of being able to fly,
there's your guy. Also, this shot, the first digital matte painting ever.
Really?
Yep.
Still works.
It's incredible. It's really good.
You watch this as a kid, at least I watched this as a kid, and you get to this moment and it's like, oh good, we're finally to the good part.
Yay! Now Peter Pan can be Peter and he can go fight and yeah.
And I watched it as a kid, I'm like, this is a story about an old fuddy-duddy who realizing that work is lame and fun is awesome. I watched it as a kid and I'm like, that's the story.
That's the message.
And I hadn't seen it in a long time, so I went with my kids and I was not expecting this whole transformative experience. Yeah. But when he remembers that his happy thought was the very thing that's been driving him crazy, which is his kids. Mm-hmm. And I'm sitting here and I'm thinking of these little people who I've seen as obstacles to my goals, or like, I'll play with you later, or just, and then feeling guilty, like, yes, I want to be a good dad, but also like this needs to happen, or like we're going to have financial troubles and, you know, and just all the stress of it. And when he remembers his happy thought and he takes off flying, it's cheesy for me to say it, but I can't describe it any other way. Like, my spirit soared in that movie theater.
Yeah.
And it was transformative. I'm getting exactly what I need in the dark, in a theater, in a room full of strangers. And it was powerful.
You won't believe this, but I found my happy thought. Took me 3 days to find it. But guess what happened when I did? I went. You know what my happy thought was?
It was you.
He's acting while doing fight choreography. And the double headbutt in particular is a silly thing that works in Neverland.
Yep.
But he also nails the stunt.
Yeah.
Like, he hits exactly where he needs to while he's talking to his kid. Boom. And like with full force. Like, he could actually crash in.
How did you ever manage to fit into those smashing tights again, Peter?
Well, and Peter telling Jack, contrast this to their earlier interactions in the film. Mm-hmm. And Peter's so excited that he's like, I remembered that I love you and I want to be your dad.
Yeah.
And he's so excited to make amends and to tell his son that, and for his son to know it, for his son to know how loved he is, and that Peter's struggles are not Jack's fault. And if you think that I left the theater and didn't have a similar conversation with my kids, you don't know me.
Maggie!
Wait! Ain't you?
Peter Pan.
Man, the way my kids laughed in the theater,
just cackled.
Maggie!
Peter Pan's my dad.
and it's at this moment in the movie that I'm like, I really want to be my kid's hero.
Yeah.
You know? And that's a mindful decision you have to choose every day.
Yep.
Maggie! Get it off me!
I'll never lose you again.
So, with Good Will Hunting, Robin Williams set my standard for being a therapist.
Uh-huh.
And with at least the third act of Hook, he has now set the standard for what type of father I want to be. And I'm watching this and when she's like, Daddy! Daddy! Spielberg's so great with kid actors.
He really is.
So at the time we're filming this, it's been 3 years since I had this transformative hook experience. And when he says, I remember my happy thought, it was you. And then he says to his daughter, I will never lose you again. And these moments delivered the way they're delivered by Robin Williams, like just like sunk deep in. And neural pathways usually take time, but this was like a bulldozer, just like right in there. And I left the theater and I went in a grumpy, miserable, depressed, sad sack of a man. Mm-hmm. And I left with a recommitment to, I'm going to love the hell out of my kids. And I'm not going to sit here and tell you I've never gotten short with them since then, or that I've never said, I'll play with you later. But what I have done is been a lot more mindful to be present. Mm-hmm. And a lot more mindful to be playful. We're at the park. I'm the weird dad who's on the playground instead of on his phone. Like I get looks from parents because I'm like running up slides and stuff, you know? Sure. And I haven't regretted any of it. When you make a choice and then you feel miserable after making that choice, you need to assess, okay, is this because I made a wrong choice, right? Do I need to redirect my life? And wrong could mean a lot of things. It could just mean wrong for you, not necessarily that it's a bad thing. Right? Or, no, did I make the right choice, but I've forgotten why I made it? And I'm getting so lost in the day-to-day struggle of it. And the thing is, like, there's still businesses to run. There's still marriage stresses. There's still kids get under your skin. Parenting is hard. Adulting is hard. Like, still, and you talk about pure joy versus, like, everything is kind of
tainted a little bit
by adulthood. And I relate to that. There's still sadness. And there's still a lot of hard things to deal with. But I recognize that by pushing the playfulness and the joy away, I was eliminating or deteriorating my ability to cope.
Well, you're making everything worse.
Yeah. And in my experience, when I play with my kids, it's as much because I need it as because they do. Like, I feel rejuvenated. So to me, I wanted to be a hero to my kids, and that means being kind, courageous, and when I stumble and make mistakes, being accountable.
There it is.
Yeah. Being accountable. If you ask my kids, is your dad your hero? Mileage will vary depending on the kid. Some of them will say, I know which ones will say absolutely yes. I know which one will say, depends on the day. But we get up and we keep trying. And this is the transformative power of art, and I love it.
Man, it's a good movie.
Yeah.
It's really, really good.
Why don't you go suck on a dead dog's nose? Hook haters.
Bubble butt.
You rude crew chewed pre-chewed bag of food, dude.
So thank you for joining us for this rare occasion where John cried and I did not. Mm-hmm. Honestly, I just felt like it would be too much. I wanted to cry a couple times.
The world can handle...
Both of us crying? About Hook?
So until next time...
I've just had an apostrophe.
To live would be an awfully great adventure.
And... watch movies. We want to thank our patrons for supporting our show and getting extended director's cuts and all kinds of other amazing things. People like...
Gabriela Novello.
Cadence Moffat.
Or it might be Novello if it's Spanish. Austin Boylan.
Neutral Platonic Land-Based Vertebrate.
And Crippa. Bangarang, folks.
Bangarang. NPLBV.
Whoa, that was impressive.